Hello, everyone. It's Phil Jones, and joining me is Phil Boyle. Phil, how are you?
I'm doing good, Phil. How are you?
Before we get started talking about the projectors that Phil and I have reviewed, I do want to talk about a few things. Number one, we do not charge manufacturers for reviews. What we do is we ask the manufacturers to loan us projectors, like the two units you see behind me. And once we finish that review, we send those units back to the manufacturer. However, if you're interested in maybe purchasing or learning more about the projectors that we discuss in these videos or in our written reviews, we would appreciate it if you utilize the affiliate link listed in the videos or the reviews, because we get paid a small commission at no cost to you, which helps us make more reviews and more videos like this. So One of them would be something like the guy behind me here, which is the projector that I had to review, which was the VPL XW 5100 ES. Now, that used to be the model number, but Sony likes to call it the BRAVIA Projector 7. So we've already done the 9, we did the 8, and this is actually the 7. And the 7 retails for $10,000 or $9,999.99. So $10,000. So this fits in between the award-winning XW5000 ES, which retails for around $6,000, and then the bigger units like the Projector BRAVIA 9, which retails for about $16,000. So there was a big gap, and this is slotted right in between those two models.
How bright was this projector, Phil?
Now, it's interesting as you get into these higher end serious home theater projectors. It's all about it's really about the black level. So minor jumps in brightness get really expensive. So this projector is about 2,200 lumens. So it's about 200 lumens more than the XW5000. So not a lot more, but what you're paying for is it has the latest video processor. Phil and I both worked at Sony, and one thing that Sony has always been obsessed with when it comes to picture quality is the video processors. And this has their latest video processor built into the unit.
We used to say Sony is the king of image processing. I couldn't think of a company that was better at it, and I don't just say that because I worked there. And I think they've continued that tradition. So
I had the opportunity to review several projectors in this price range. Something like a JVC NZ700, which is very similar to a NZ700, which retails for around the same price of $10K. And then also the Epson QB1000, which retails for around $8,000. So those are going to be the three that people are going to look at. Either this Sony, the BRAVIA Projector 7, the JVC NZ700, or the QB1000. If you look at all three, the QB1000 has well over 3,000 lumens. So it is significantly brighter than both the Sony or the JVC. So if you're looking for brightness to overcome ambient light or to deliver a vibrant picture on a larger screen, that may be the one you go to. If you're looking for the king of inky blacks, the Sony is outstanding, but the JVC is just better. So if you're just a black fiend and all you care about is native contrast and how black it will be and how black it could be, then you may go with the JVC. But I will tell you, I thought that of the three, the image actually looked better on the Sony.
That doesn't surprise me. Now, this is a native 4K SXRD chip, right?
This is a 4K, native 4K unit. It is 3840 by 2160. The JVC is a cinematic 4K resolution, which is 4096 by 2160. It's a little bit of a wider aspect ratio, so when you're watching regular 4K, you're actually not using all of the projector's resolution. The next one is the Epson QB1000, which utilizes Epson's new 4-way pixel shifting. Some of the original Epsons, or many of the original Epsons, use only two-way, which doubled the resolution. But doubling HD does not give you 4K. This one now, because it does four-way shifting, increases the resolution by 4 times. So it theoretically can deliver 4K resolution on screen.
This is not a native. The QB1000, the Epson, is not a native 4K sensor.
The QB1000 is not a native. It uses a HD panel with Epson's new 4-way pixel shifting technology. It shifts 4 ways, and it shifts faster than the previous units, which means that when you look at the new Epsons, you'll see 2 different logos: 4K Pro UHD, which is found on older models that have 2-way pixel shifting. And now you will just see a 4K logo on the units that have 4-way pixel shifting, because they say it can deliver 4K on-screen resolution. A couple things about the Sony, as I mentioned. I thought the picture out of the box was like lights out. On a smaller screen with 2200 lumens, I think that this looks good on screens going up to about 130. And I will say the same thing for JVC. If you're going to go bigger than that, you may want to explore the Epson or a brighter unit if you really want vibrant looking HDR. But I thought on my screen in my lab, that's 100-ish. And in my living room, which I have about, I think it's a 120 or 130, it looked really, really, really good. The out-of-the-box color reproduction was outstanding. I think both the grayscale error and the color tracking error out of the box was below 2. It took me about 5 minutes or 10 minutes of adjustments, and I got both of them below 1. So you end up with like the resolution of native 4K, an incredibly accurate, looking image. Now it can't do the color gamut coverage of a tri-laser. It's not going to do 110% Rec 2020. It'll do probably 85 to 90% DCI-P3. But for most HDR, that is enough. And when you looked at skin tones and colors, it looked amazing.
So these are very much projectors designed to be used in a controlled space, in a home theater space. Rightly so.
Yeah.
And in those environments, they're going to give you the best overall performance, the best overall color quality, the best overall black level, the best overall detail. These are truly at a higher level.
Home theater projectors. If you look at a lifestyle projector, living rooms, dining rooms, media rooms, family rooms, take it places, right? Most people are going to invest about $10K on a projector, are probably going to think about things like lighting control, the quality of the screen. This has no sound, no smarts, because if you're going to spend $10K, you're probably going to have a sound system and sources and everything else. This is a great projector for that. And I, like I said, Phil, I thought the picture overall looked better. On paper, the JVC has better blacks. The Epson was brighter, but if I fired up an HDR movie, I thought this looked closer to what I would see on a flat panel TV on smaller screens going up to about 130 inches, and which is why I gave it an award as well. Highly recommended home theater projector under 10K. So it's a very good model.
I'm curious, would you say that this particular series of Sonys, and this one included, is more than just an incremental increase from what they were doing previously? These are really a noticeable improvement on what was already an excellent picture.
I will still say that it's still evolutionary. It's the same imager that they developed a year ago. It's the same light source, blue Z-phosphor light source they did. The differences is video processing. I love the projector, but at the same time, at 10K, you're looking at the Epson, which is more brightness for $2,000 less, or you're looking at the JVC, which has motorized, like a really high quality motorized lens assembly, while this one is manual. If you're a 16:9 guy, that's not going to matter. It's a set it once and forget it. But if you have a 235 screen and you want to jump between 235 and 16:9, having the motorized lens assembly would be the better option. This does have a new feature though, where it does think of almost like digital adjustment or digital cropping. And it does a pretty good job. So basically you get yourself a 235 screen, you zoom out, and you fit the 235 screen. Now, when you do that on any of these projectors, you're zooming a decent amount off the top and the bottom of the screen. And that's the same thing that applies when you're looking at the JVC. But then when it senses, or you go to a 16:9, it will basically, what it does is it basically fits that 16:9 into that 235 screen. Normally you would have to motorize or zoom it back down so you wouldn't have parts of the image off of the screen. This just does it electronically. The JVC is going to zoom it down, so you're going to maintain your horizontal resolution. This one, it's just digitally cropping it down so it'll fit. So you can quickly jump from 235 to 16:9, but you're not getting the full horizontal resolution that the unit is capable of, like what you would on the JVC, because you're optically moving it. So the JVC's 10 grand, the Sony's 10 grand. It's a great projector, but I wish it was in the a little bit less expensive to kind of make up the fit in between those two models.
Got it. But still, these are all very impressive looking projectors. I mean, it's nice. You know, these are high class problems, as my old boss John Cadera used to say. These are a wealth of projectors that allow somebody who wants a high end home theater projector to work in a wide range of environments. I mean, the extra brightness on the Epson means that projector can be used in more places. You know, the flexibility of the JVC, if that's what you're looking for with the lens, you know, that it presents a very valuable option to consumers. Or if you just want one of the best looking pictures that Sony has put out in this particular class of projector, then you've got, you know, the Sony 7, the VPL 7.
Yes. So the way, and I keep it even simpler. The projector has a native contrast of 15,000 to 1. So, which is very good, right? And if you switch on the dynamic contrast, it's basically infinite, right? Now the JVC can go higher than that. Like I think the JVC's native contrast that I measured in my space was close to 40,000 to 1. But I would tell you the difference between 40,000 to 1 and 15,000 to 1 in a regular living room with any kind of ambient light or any kind of light on, like the lights of your receiver being powered on the left side of the room, will actually take away some of that contrast. So for many people, 15,000 is literally outstanding. So I would say this: if I was going to pick a projector, I had ambient light in my room, and I want to go beyond 135, maybe pick the QB1000. If you have a darkened space and you have a 235 screen, I may go with the JVC because of the optical picture positioning to maintain horizontal resolution when watching 16:9 content. If I have a 16:9 screen in a darkened space, I would probably pick, like me, I would probably pick the Sony because I just thought the image looked great. So that's kind of how I would weigh all three of those. But that's just me. Phil may have a different opinion. You may have a different opinion. I'm sure you guys put it in the comment. I'm sure I'm going to hear a bunch of different opinions there. But I will tell you, before you spend $10K, see if a dealer has all three units. And if you can, before you invest $8,000 to $10,000, go look at them all and pick the one that you like. Because if there was one that was the best, there would only be one projector on the market. And all three have their strengths and weaknesses.
So I'm curious about something on the Epson. This is the first year of their redesign. This is a new projector technology for Epson, right? So does Sony and JVC have something to worry about?
Two different animals, because This is still pixel shifting. Epson is going towards higher brightness, and they're making a strong case that higher brightness when it comes to HDR is a bigger benefit than chasing absolute black level, right? The Sony and the JVCs are the only native 3-chip LCOS projectors that are available that you could afford. There's some professional stuff that you can't touch. So if you're in so each company has basically tried to choose their lane, and Epson just chose a different path. And they have some more models. I'm getting ready to review the QL3000, which has over 5,000 lumens, and that makes a massive difference when looking at HDR on a 180-inch screen. But that's a different thing. But I like all three of them. To find out more about the projectors that we talked about today, check out our detailed reviews on projectorreviews.com. And lastly, make sure that you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So take care, everyone, and we will talk to you soon.